What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year to everyone who is watching this video when it first comes out. If not, it's a little late. Happy late New Year to everyone. I'm hoping you guys had happy holidays and happy New Year. But pretty much we know that the ban list takes effect as soon as the year turns over, so we are gonna go ahead and go over some of the crazy crazy price spikes and some of the crazy price drops. I'm probably gonna have to release another market watch probably maybe within a couple of days to kind of go over some of this, because it's gonna be going here and there. We got the hype of Orchist, we got the Horus hype, and then we got also the price dropping of the other stuff that got hit. So if you like what we do, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers. We were not able to get there before the end of the year, but still, we are still trying. Like I said, we're still trying to get to that goal. I'm still gonna do a giveaway where I'm gonna do I'm gonna hold a special tournament on locals, and I'm gonna give away 2 TCG player gift cards to people that are subscribed and comment on the videos on the channel. So if you want to be a part of that, please help us get there. Let's go ahead and start talking about these cards. Imseti, Gloria, the Horus. This right here, I was like, this card's on the back burner for me. I knew it was going to be used, but I didn't foresee it was going to be as good as it is. It seems, and like what I mean by as good is as it is because you could splash the Horus engine into so many different decks and kind of get yourself a little bit, from a little bit to a lot of value. So right here, like at one point you could kind of get them at their lowest point when they're kind of at $30 when no one was really renting them, and ever since they hit the kind of the $20 $29 mark, they've been kind of slowly going up. Maybe like, me right here, 45 was like a decent point. I actually pulled one when it was in kind of this range and sold it, but it just has been going up ever since then. And you got right here, near mint first edition, 71 with the $1 shipping, $72.95. We are looking at $73 for freaking Imseti. There's a lot of different decks that are looking to run, not like it isn't only just kind of like some of the top tier decks, but you have people trying to run it with Orchist, trying to have like the whole little synergy because you can send cards to the graveyard. You have people trying to run it with the Rescue Ace, people trying to run it with the Snake Eye, people trying to run it with Fire King. There's so many just different decks that this really could go into. So you have right here, if you pull one of these, if you got some packs like over the holidays and you got one of these, get like right now, just know it is around the $72 to $73 price point. King's Sarcophagus is one that I thought was, well, I kind of thought I was going to eat my own words, and I thought this was going to be a $15 card, but we're looking at it right here. Near mint first ed is about $6.99, $6.99. We're looking about like $7 for this card, so it is starting to kind of go to that like to that area. Like I do feel that if in the next the next coming up weeks we got some of the bigger tournaments, if we start seeing Horus just non-stop kind of topping, I really do see this card could go to the $15 range. So if you plan on playing this deck and you maybe have one or two, just go ahead and get all the ones you need, because these could go to like $10 to $15 if the hype is real. And also another one, I know this one really isn't run, like if it is ran, it's really only run at 1. It's not really one at like run as like Imseti or even Happy. And like when it comes like the other ones, those like really kind of low price, we're kind of really talking about things like things that are kind of like are affected. But right now, like, if you get this secret rare, it is going for a bit like a bit of money. It's like $2.94, $2.96. So like I said, I wouldn't really kind of be too crazy about it, but at the same time, these could go to $5 out of nowhere, especially if the deck kind of takes off and it's like, oh, this is a secret. People start getting them, and out of nowhere, you go from being able to get them for like $2 to $3 to $5 to $6. So I would just get these now if you're trying to play the deck. Rescue Ace Hydrant. Rescue Ace Hydrant has taken a freaking I wouldn't call it a free fall, but a gradual dive. It did have that really big bump when when it was like super hot, but then ever since pretty much when you have like the Fire King is kind of coming in, then you have the announcement, people kind of fearing the ban list and people falling off at the end of the season. It kind of started to slowly kind of go down, and right now you're looking at lightly paid first ed for about $20.98, $19.99. We're looking about like $20 to $21 for this card. If you want to play Rescue Ace, it's still a decent deck. Like even though you did lose like a little bit of consistency and a little bit of like being able to dodge hand traps, it's still a good card, especially if you want to run it with one of with the Imseti engine, or if you want to run it with the Sneak ID Valstar stuff. So it is still like a good option. So if you want to get this, I would go in and get it before maybe potentially might go up, because Rescue Ace, even in the OCG, it has some hits and it's still a pretty decent deck. So I would kind of keep an eye out for Hydrant. Also, like Turbulence is another one where I kind of noticed where, you know, it spiked up similar to the rest, to the Hydrant, then it kind of went down, and right now you get them for about a near mint, you know, first ed for about 450, 454, about, you know, like $5 to $6 for this card. And in all honesty, I would just get this stuff now if you don't have it. If you already have it and you're kind of thinking about jumping off it, I wouldn't, you know, like maybe I'll kind of just like hold off on it, because I think it's a really good deck, it's a really good contender, and you just never know how things are gonna play out, especially with all the different engines that are running around in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unchained, man. So Unchained was like a really, it's like a really favorite, like a really, it's like a fan favorite deck of mine. Like I ran it a lot, like when I wasn't running really hardcore meta, and when I saw it got support, I was very excited, and then when I got a support and I realized it was like top tier, I just ran this thing to the ground until people kind of figured it out. Then I kind of like went back to running like the rogue strategy. But I do feel like Unchained, even though, you know, I would consider Shavara being a pretty decent hit, the deck pure version is still good, and also good as an engine in other decks, maybe in the Labyrinth deck, or maybe some other kind of dark, maybe Fiend strategy. But we're looking at Yamas right here. Like you know, at one point they were kind of in like the, you know, like $14 range, kind of went all the way down to $6, and they jumped up to about 11 or 12. Now you could get them for $5.50, $6. So like I said, if you only had one Yama and you want 2 or 3, because I personally have 2, maybe I want to get like 1 more Yama, I'd probably, right now would be a good time, because if Unchained becomes, you know, still is a good contender, I could see these going back to the $10 to $15 price point. So be wary of that. If Unchained does something, these are gonna go right back to 15s. So kind of similar to the Yama, you got Abomination's Prison. Abomination's Prison has kind of taken a big nosedive. Kind of everyone assumes that losing the Shavara is a really big deal, and I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal, but there's already combos to where combos that you could do to kind of like, you know, use just one, and you also have so many different ways to go into the combo. I think people are not realizing that just taking out that card was very much a slap on the wrist to Unchained. Just like the fact that we still have the one Shavara, we got the Yama, and then we also got the other blue one. We still have so much potential in the deck. So I really see, like, if you want to run Unchained and you were on the fence, I would just go ahead and get these ultras like real quick while they're low, because if Unchained does something, they will be kind of big. The ultras right here are about $7. We're looking at about, we're looking at about damage first ed for 7, and then once you get to these near mint first eds, $8.90. Yeah, so we're looking at about like $9 for these cards. Like to be honest, I would just go and jump on these ultras for $9 if you just want to run the deck, if you aren't sure about it. But I could see these kind of going back to the $15 price point. Even like the supers could go back to like the $20 to $25 price point if the deck, you know, still is still a contender. I do feel like this is gonna be a tier 1 contending deck. And then the last card I want to talk about is Cross Out Designator. Do not get caught without Cross Out Designator. I think this is the second time I'm talking about it, and ever since I talk about it, it has kind of gone up. Not only in price, but in popularity. I have seen a lot of more people kind of talking about it. You know, it was kind of up like a little bit of a peak, and it kind of went back down a little bit. Now it's kind of slowly kind of starting to trend up just a little bit. You have you have the near mint first ed for like $13.99 for about like pretty much like $14 right here for the prismatic version. And then if we go over to the ultra rare, I think it's going to be about like $13. So we're probably paying $15 for the prismatic, and we're paying about like 13, 14 for prismatic, and about $12 for the ultra rare. To be honest, like I said, I really feel like in the next format, a lot of people are going to be running almost the exact same hand traps, if not the same hand trap. If not the same hand traps, like, you know, like if all decks kind of run 9, everyone's going to be running 6 hand traps that are going to be in common, and those 6 hand traps are going to be very crucial to stopping your deck. And I feel that Crossout Designator, especially with a lot of the other, like we have no Gamma, we have no Call by the Grave, we have, you know, like we have very limited ways to really just stop the hand traps. Crossout Designator is a card that is going to have its time to shine. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.